Hey guys, Wade here. So, we already know the situation in Russia, the whole conflict in Ukraine. Not really a need to hamper on everything that's going on, with the exception of Serber Bank. All right. Now, if you don't know, Serber Bank is one of Russia's leading banks, right? It's the equivalent of Bank of America, Comerica, wherever. See, the thing is, though, Serber Bank is playing a very interesting position in this whole narrative. All right. Now, if we go back in time a little bit, a few weeks ago, we discovered that Serber Bank was a member of the Hyperledger Foundation. The Hyperledger Foundation, we know, is a very crucial group when it comes to this transition to ISO 20022, which is the new global payment messaging standard that the entire world will use. Now, when it comes to these sanctions, when the conflict broke out, BlackRock pulled $17 billion out of the Russian market. The rest of the West followed suit, right? Shortly after that, Serber Bank voluntarily, right, removed themselves from SWIFT. The sanctions were targeted at the Russian market with the goal of removing them from the SWIFT payment system. But then Serber Bank just decides to, no, we'll just leave. We didn't want to be here anyway, right? I found that behavior to be quite strange. I think all of the behavior of these nations are very strange the closer we get to November. But this Serber Bank, oh boy, very particular. So, courtesy of Markets Insider, Russia's biggest bank has been cut out of the global financial markets, but now it has launched a cryptocurrency. And then here's the crazy part about this. It's Russia's central bank that allowed for this to happen. The same one that those sanctions are imposed on. Now, let's just get into the story. It states that in early March, just days after the invasion began, trading in Serber Bank shares was halted in London after they plummeted 95%. The lender was ordered to close its European business as Western sanctions threw the Russian economy into disarray. 2 weeks later, March 17th, the Russian central bank granted Serber Bank a license to issue its own cryptocurrency, according to media reports. That coin launched the same day. So, March 17th, about 2 weeks ago, we've had Russia, their largest bank, leading bank, launched its own crypto, and nobody is talking about that. See, that's what I don't like about the crypto media, is because there are very crucial elements and crucial pieces of this transition that don't get spoken about because it doesn't pump Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Cardano, or whatever the heck they're holding. But they're missing the larger narrative here. Serber Bank has its own cryptocurrency. Serber Bank was the first crypto to leave the SWIFT payment system voluntarily. Serber Bank is also a member of the Hyperledger Foundation. And if you go back to 2018, the IBM WorldWire pilot, Serber Bank was a part of that. If you go back to 2017, the first trials for the digital ruble through Serber Bank in accordance with IBM on Stellar's blockchain. All right, now, we're going to just read a little bit further to give you guys some details, but I got some more gems for you. Trust me, that's really going to shake you out your seat. But now, Russia is seen as struggling to meet dollar-denominated debt obligations, and it has said it will demand payment for its energy in rubles. Against that backdrop, there has been speculation the Serber coin could become a quietly condoned way to exchange rubles for other currencies and get around constraints. Now, they go into talk to share a quote from Ashish Burla, general manager at blockchain-based payment service provider RippleNet. She states that it's going to be super problematic for them to get much traction here because they also need a liquid exchange that is going to take the Russian ruble. He told Insider, excuse me, Ashish, sorry, brother. But your quote is what needs to be focused on here. See, the thing is, everybody in the West is they've been playing this narrative about how if Russia turns to crypto or any form of digital currency, they can usurp Western sanctions. This is true. At the same time, though, they're trying to say that it would be difficult because, like RippleNet much just mentioned, there's no liquidity there. Well, see, here's the thing about that. They don't necessarily need the liquidity. They have the coin. And what do we know about cryptos that is like concrete in every project? Interoperability. So they don't need an exchange. All they need to do is connect it to a blockchain network, and that coin is going. All right. Now, that brings us to a potential future. They have launched this coin. On top of that, they are now demanding that people purchase Russian energy in the form of rubles. On top of that, they just signed a deal with China and the Middle East when it comes to Russian oil, right? China is the leader in this digital currency race right now. The de facto leader, no one can argue that. Coming up in a close second is the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, that whole part of the world, including India. All of the countries surrounding Russia right now are way further along with their digital currencies than the West that's imposing all of these financial sanctions. So here's the thing. This introduction of Russia's cryptocurrency will help them get around these sanctions, okay? Because now they can tie into the digital blockchain networks that are being created by India, by China, by the United Arab Emirates. Guys, I have seen the headlines all this weekend that new crypto hub in Dubai, they are pulling in customers, okay? They're pulling in bank. Binance is there now. Crypto.com is there now. FTX is there now. And they're hiring even more people. Not to mention our friendly neighborhood Digibyte established themselves down there a long time ago. We already know how that happened. But here's the thing, guys. The fact that they have created their own cryptocurrency is significant of the change that we are going through. It is purely the signal, the sign that you need to see in order to realize that we are now in the digital era. Okay, that's just where this is going to go. Now, I put this piece together because of the fact that I've seen server bank way too many times in the last few months, especially once we did the research on Agenda 2022, or 2022, forgot what year it was. Agenda 2022, we broke down the G20 report, the ISO situation, Hyperledger, so forth and so on. So server banks positioning in all of this is very important, okay? It signifies that crypto is what's going to come out of this conflict. Right, now, real quick, I want to make one last point about pairs to this new coin. Once this conflict broke out, yes, we saw that tweet from the Ukrainian government posting the Twitter, the Tether, Ethereum, and Bitcoin addresses, okay, accepting donations. To date, there have been almost $100 million in crypto to go to the Ukraine. All right. Now, here's my thing. What's stopping that from happening in Russia? Honestly, and now they have their own cryptocurrency in which to do it. Now, again, I don't want this to come off as if I am taking someone's side. All right. I think the whole thing altogether is unnecessary, could have been avoided, but this has been being built up since 2014. And if you dig even further, it goes back even further than that. Okay. So what you can pull from that is the fact that the events that are occurring are significant of a transition that is happening right in front of our faces. All right. That's why this story was so important. That's why I made this video. And that's why, since we are at the end, I'm going to have my video on Binance, Russia, and Ukraine pop up here. And then I'm going to compare that with this ISO checklist, guys, because This transition is happening, and it's happening this year. And this is the time. If you're in crypto right now, you are literally perfect timing. You are the epitome of perfect timing, because the transition happens this year. All right. Everything in the middle is what's going to lead up to it. So again, right here, we got the video on Ukraine, Russia. Why now? And over here, we got ISO 20022, complete checklist, full breakdown, everything you need to know. As always, guys, you know what I'm going to tell you. If that money is digital, so is the hustle. I'll see y'all in the next one.